What do you think is the difference between these two images? Except for the quality of the top one looks a little bit more hazy than the bottom one. Maybe it is the view of the image that is focused in a certain area compared to the more wide view of the bottom one. Well, the big difference is that the top one is one photograph and the bottom one is a composite of about 7 photographs. Hi, my name is Marcus Leibrand and I am the owner of Kondor Photographic. Today we're going to look at creating a panoramic image, and we're going to look at the various ways of doing it. The in-camera method for compact cameras will not be discussed because I unfortunately do not have a little compact camera that can do it. I'm using Photostitch, which is a software, and also Photoshop. And in Photoshop there are various ways of creating a panoramic image. The Gippo way, well, that is the easy way out. Then we let Photoshop do the work, which is also an easy way out. And then we have the manual process. Now that is where the fun starts. I'm going to do a panoramic. And I'm going to take this wonderful view that I've got here to do that. So what I've done is, I've set up my camera at ISO 100, f11 and 100th of a second. So that's a good exposure for metering at the scene in front of me. If I would have used the trees from my right, it would have been too dark. And I would have overexposed the rest of the image. To my left, it's a little bit brighter, and I might have underexposed certain areas. But let's continue with this. So the first thing to do is to go to the horizon to the left. Okay. Now I have to overlap my image in a viewfinder so that it is partially overlapping. So I can use the data to stitch. So I see a white house in the bottom right hand corner. We'll put that one in the bottom left hand corner. Okay. Okay. What I have not done is to tilt my camera to the portrait position. It's also a nice way to shoot a landscape, panoramic, although then you have to stack quite a lot of them and you get a broader scene for you. Creating a panorama with Photostitch is very easy to do. So let's open the files. And say open. And there we've got the files in sequence. Now we can sort change the order of the files and rotate them and do a lot of things. So let's just enlarge a little bit so can we see better. So the next step is to say merge it. So let's go look at the merge settings. got three options. Got the panning view, like I've used there, the parallel camera movement, and images scanned into sections option. So I'm using the panning scenery option. Next step is to say start, and 1, 2, 3 it is done. As you can see, there is a curvature in the view. We want to save it, and what's going to happen is, with the green line is showing us where the image will be cropped, as to keep the horizon straight for us. So let's have a look at something else. Let's just say go maximum, maximum there, and then we save the image. Panoramic 001, and save as a JPEG file. View the saved image. No, we'll do that later. Let's go back to the merge and say display the seams, and you can see everywhere the merged images overlap, the areas that is being used for overlapping. Let's see here, we can also do some adjustment to the image. So it's quite a nice little tool. Now let's just go and open this file in Photoshop. Okay, let's put it into Photoshop. So what we can do is we can just say crop the image. So what we do is we go to the margins at the top and at the bottom, and we can crop the image, and it looks fair. But let's just try something else on it. First we need to convert it to a normal layer, edit, and then go to transform. Great. So what I can do here is to pick this part up, pull it to the top, and this one pull it to the top, and this one pull it to the bottom, and that one pull it to the bottom. And there is the image. And I think this one is a better representation of the scene that I've seen than the previous one. Let's have a look at the Gippo method. So to do that, we take one image and all we do is using the cropping tool, and we select the area in the image that we would like to present as our panoramic view. Select it, cut away the edges, and there is the panoramic. Well, it looks like a panoramic photograph. It's got a panoramic look and feel to it, but it's actually just one photograph that I've cropped out something in a long cutout. So that is the Gippo method, how to do a panoramic scene. And that's using one photograph only. Let's have a look at how Photoshop will do it for us. File, Automate, and then Photo Merge. Let's go for automatic. Select the photographs. And let Photoshop do the work. But we can also see, we can ask it to blend the images together. We can do vignette removal. Depending on the wide angle lens, wide angle lenses tend to have darker sides and corners, creating vignetting, and that's very obvious when we blend photographs. I did not use such a wide angle lens, so I'm not going to worry about this. And then geometric distortion correction is also an option that can be selected. So let's do that and say OK. And now Photoshop is doing a whole sequence of processes. So while Photoshop is doing its work, I have encountered a problem in the past with using a very wide angle lens and doing a panoramic scene in nature. And I did find that the corners of the images were a little bit darker. And when I tried to do the photo merge, it did give me a slight problem on the merged final result. Right, and there we have it. Again, we've got an area that we can crop out. So let's just see what happens. This is just to move it around. Okay, and there is the final image. And we can use the cropping tool and select the areas inside. However, this is not my favorite way of doing it, because as you can see, I'm losing detail at the bottom of the image as well. Let's just do a little bit of transforming again. Okay, it doesn't give me the option that I want for the warp. I wanted to do the warp, so okay, we can do that on a later stage. But that is the way you can do it. And you can see it's a slight indication of where the images overlapped. But it is a very seamless blending that is done for you. Let's see how we can do it on a manual basis. File, and then load files into the stack. And this will then put all the files in a single image, each one on its own layer. As you can see around the side here, it is loading the files. So the next step we will need to do is, we will need to make the canvas larger so we can work on that. To do that, we need to find out the size of the images. So let's just see. Image size. So it's 2592 pixels. Okay, and that brings me to the question of how many do we need to enlarge for. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images. One's already got the size for it. So let's say we can enlarge the canvas with 6 of them, because it's going to shift up a little bit as well. So let's make it 2592 times 6 is 15552 pixels. Image. Now we change the canvas size. We change it to the right hand side. The width will change in pixels, and we put 15552 pixels. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller, and there we can see the images. Now this is all fun, because the images I want to work with is at the bottom. So take the bottom image out. No, it's not the bottom image. So let's just swap the images into sequence. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we can go to the top image and move it way out of the way to the end. The next one, and the next one, and that one. Just move a little bit up so we can get some more space. And let's pull this one over, and then that one over there. Great. Now let's start. Let's zoom in. So I want to align that house with that house over there. Is it aligned? Ooh, I'm not sure. It looks aligned. And there's the top. There's a section there that I don't like that much. So let's just take this image and we change the blending mode to multiply. Okay, I can see that it is not properly aligned yet. So let's just move it around a bit. Okay, must come a little bit down for the house to line up. So the house is aligned, but the rest of the image is not aligned properly. You can see the trees are not properly aligned. So that means we need to tilt this image a little bit. Just zoom out a bit. Okay, immediately we see there is a space at the top there. Okay, let's just tilt it a little bit, but not too much. Let's see if we move it again. No. Oh boy, how much do we need to tilt it? It looks fairly well at the top there, but at the bottom it is still not right. So a little bit there. The house looks good, but still at the bottom it is not correct. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Apply transformation, yes. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Boy oh boy, this is going to be a fun exercise, I suppose. The house is aligned, top part fairly aligned, bottom part not quite aligned. You can see there, still not enough, so I must bring this one a little bit back. No, still more. Okay. That looks a little bit better, but still not the right way to do it. Still a little bit more to twist it. It's close, but still not there. You know what? It's going to take me forever and ever to match these images up and make them work. And this is part of the problem that we have. We can see that the image, when it's done by Photoshop, has got a space at the top and space at the ends, and that is because it's trying to align these two images with each other, and they must be done at an angle. So to do it manually is one hell of a process to do. It is very time consuming, so I'm not going to attempt it at all. I don't have enough time for that. Anybody else that wants to try it, you're more than welcome. Welcome to share your results with me, but I think this is not the thing that I would like to do. I'd rather take photographs than sit and do photoshopping like this the whole day. Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.